struggles I faced leaving Islam and giving my life to Jesus Christ and becoming a Christian. This one struggle almost led me away completely. And the struggle was noticing and taking observation of fake, hypocritical, confused Christians. And these were the same people that were speaking to me directly and indirectly, discouraging me from really putting my faith in Jesus Christ and accepting him as the truth. That is until I met a real Christian. But I'll share that later in the video. If you don't know, my background is Turkish Muslim, so you can already imagine there's a vast majority of struggles that I was going to have to face before giving my life to Jesus. I grew up in America, right, to a Muslim family. But my conscience was a very guilty conscience while I was growing up. I had a great awareness of sin. I knew that lying was horrible. I knew that cursing was horrible. But of course, as you get older and older and older in this life, you get desensitized to it. That's why in the Bible it says too, you must become like children to inherit the kingdom of heaven. But anyway, I grew up in communities, right, where you would see people with the cross necklaces on. Sundays, they would go to church. Waymaker, miracle worker, God is so good. Come the next day, these same people, men and women, gossiping about somebody, ridiculing them in private. And then I would see them hang out with that person minutes later, getting drunk, getting high, blaspheming even their God, sleeping around with anyone and everything. What they were doing was living in sin, and I could discern, even as an unbeliever at the time, dang, these people look empty, man. These so-called followers of the truth look empty. So if the followers look like this, why on earth would I want to follow the one who is leading them? This video might come off as harsh, but I'm being completely honest with you and sharing my perspective as an unbeliever at the time to what I viewed Christians and Christianity as. I thought this was a religion that was simply condoning every act that these people wanted to commit. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I slept with someone. I'm sorry that I got drunk. I'm sorry that I got high. But you know what? I'm going to do it again tomorrow. I thought it was like that. Another aspect of it was confusion. You see, I had tried anything and everything, all other religions, all other concepts to get to a higher plane of thought, encounter a higher being perhaps. But with Christianity, there was 10,000 denominations that I was facing, bro. Baptist, Lutheran, Pentecostal, Catholic. I was like, where do I start? There is so much confusion here because some of these Christians don't believe what some of these Christians believe. If you're confused, if you don't know what you believe, how on earth am I supposed to put my faith in this? This was a huge struggle for me. And I'm not here to rag on and beat up these Christians. In fact, I would go as far as to say that these people were not even Christian, though they claim to be. And the Bible has several verses about this. I'll go to one. 1 Corinthians 5:11. Let's check it out. Stay with me. There's light at the end of the tunnel, I promise. Stay with me. I'm actually going to read it in the Amplified translation because I believe it really packs a deep punch. 1 Corinthians 5:11 says in the Amplified translation, "But actually, I have written to you to not associate with any so-called Christian brother if he is sexually immoral or greedy, or is an idolater, devoted to anything that takes the place of God, or is a reviler who insults or slanders or otherwise verbally abuses others, or is a drunkard or a swindler. You must not so much as eat with such a person." So when I encountered this verse in the Bible, I was like, hold up. Christianity is not condoning this behavior. In fact, it's saying if these people are saying, oh, we're Christians, but they ain't living like it, to get up and not even eat with them. You can rebuke people in love. And I've rebuked many of my Christian brothers and sisters in the faith out of love. Because it was not Jesus telling me, you're going to go to hell if you don't believe in me. That saved my life. It was Jesus' love which brought about a change in my heart. Let's go to Romans 2 verses 4. Where are you, Romans? Where Or do you despise the riches of his goodness, forbearance, and long-suffering, not knowing that the goodness of God leads you to repentance? I was realizing that these people that I was judging, that I, as an unbeliever, was using as a cop-out to not believe in Christianity, actually were misrepresenting it. These were people themselves who, in fact, have not encountered the goodness of God. They were living non-repentant lifestyles, which is a very dangerous thing because they were claiming to have a relationship with Jesus. They were claiming to be Christian, but in fact, they were selling themselves short. You see, I want to be completely honest with you. Look me in my eyes. I would rather you say, yeah, I was born to a Christian family, but I don't know what it means to be a Christian. I have never encountered Jesus Christ in a way that my life has changed. I don't have a testimony where my destiny got rerouted. I would rather you say that to me and say, but I want to know, but I want to experience it for myself, than for you to say, oh yeah, I'm a Christian and this is what we Christians do. You're selling yourself short because you're thinking you're experiencing something you're not, but you're also misrepresenting the faith to other people who perhaps are on the fence about believing it. There's this thing called stolen valor. And I'm not in the military, I never served, but God bless them. I've seen many videos where a man is recording, typically, and he's obviously a military person, and he's saying, look at that guy over there wearing that jacket with the badges and the medals on it. I can tell that he hasn't served. I could tell that he's not really one of us because the badge is misplaced, right? The jacket fitting is not correct. It's not tucked in properly. The uniform that he's claiming to be associated with, he's not even wearing properly. And they go up to them and confront them. And they ask them questions. Well, tell me about your serving. Where did you serve? Who did you serve? Oh, who was part of that battalion or whatever? Who was part of that sect? And by the answers to their questions, they could tell you ain't really about this life. It's the same in our spiritual walk. Before I was saved, I was asking certain Christians questions that they couldn't answer. They didn't even read their Bibles. So how on earth would you expect me to